When you press record on your phone or your camera, you're about to start creating content for your business or for your personal account, whatever it is. And as soon as you press record, you start doing this. Oh my gosh, like what am I saying? Who am I talking? Like, oh, the lights, and you get nervous, you start ticking, it's crazy, and then you stop. And you do it again, and you still mess up. You do it again, you still mess up. Again and again and again and again, you still mess up, and you're just like frustrated and you're over it. It's been an hour, there's 30 takes on the stupid phone, and you're not gonna use any of them. You wasted an entire hour of your life trying to create content, and you have no idea why, and it happens over and over and over again. So, I get it, I've been there, okay? And this is the biggest reason why that is happening. Because you are not clear on who you are speaking to. I say this 100 times, and I'm going to say it 100 more times because it is so important. You have to be clear with who you are talking to. For example, I talk to a lot of realtors, right? I talk to a lot of realtors, and I talk to a lot of loan officers about how to build their personal brand on social media. So when I'm creating a video or making a reel or going live or any piece of content that I even write the copy for on social media, I'm not thinking about all these realtors, all 50, 60,000 that are here in Dallas, Fort Worth, or the 4 million that live here in the United States. I'm not thinking about them. I'm thinking of one specific realtor that I know personally, that I have a relationship with, that I've done work for, who at the end of watching my content or consuming my content or my reel or whatever it is, will get valuable information from and be impacted. You have to be that simple and you have to be that specific. So what can you do? Here's my 3 steps that I do every single time I make a piece of content to make sure that I am on my A game and that I am 100% focused on you, the person who's watching. Number 1, the first thing I do is I think of an individual person. So I don't mean by that, oh, like I'm talking to realtors in Dallas, Fort Worth. That's specific. No, it's not, because there's 60,000 realtors here. I want you to think of a very specific person. For example, when I'm making content for small business owners, right? I am thinking of a very specific friend. I'm not going to say his name, but he owns a company. He's 32. He's married. He has 3 kids. He's conservative. He goes to church. His hobbies include golf. He has a membership at a private country club. So you start piecing together this person, this real person, and soon enough you start realizing, oh, I'm just talking to him. Okay, keep it super simple. Talk to that person and go, right? So your first step is being very specific with who you're talking to, and not specific where like you're making up like a tiny little group. No, pick an individual person. Pick an individual person who at the end of seeing your piece of content is going to say, dang, that was awesome. Oh, that was so great. I got so much out of that. I'm going to text him and tell him that was a great job. That's how specific you want to be with who you're talking to. So you got to pick your person, number 1. Number 2, not to get all like acty schmacty with you or anything, but you have to do a little bit of imagination here, okay? What you're going to do, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to imagine the reaction this person's having when they're watching your content. This is what I do. I literally think of my business owner friend and I picture his reaction of when he sees my content. I picture the reaction of him being like, hey, this is great, or oh, I'm gonna share this with somebody, or oh, I'm gonna save this, or oh, I'm gonna comment this, and that, oh, I'm gonna text him right now. If I'm making, a video for one of the videos I just did, I was thinking of this friend who's 10 years younger than me who's doing what I do. I'm talking to him in that video. I'm picturing his reaction of what he's going to think, say, do, especially do after he watches my content. I'm putting that in my head, and what that does is it puts you in the zone. It puts you in a position where all you're having to do is just deliver. You're not worried about the world. You're not worried about the lights. You're not worried about the microphone or the camera or who's watching or the thousands of, you don't worry about that, because all you care about is getting that person who's watching, the one person, to do something. And if it's somebody that you have a relationship and you care about, it's going to come across in your content if you care or not. So you have to be very specific with that person. Now, the last thing I do is very, very simple. You've thought of your person. You have that person in your head. You are picturing the reaction that they are going to have once they see your content. The last step is you breathe in, you breathe out, and you go. It is that simple. To recap, step 1, if you are nervous in front of the camera, pick a specific person. Step 2, picture the reaction that they are going to have when they see your content. And number 3, execute. Just do it. You're talking to somebody specifically, you have them in your head, you know exactly how they're gonna react, and you just go. And that's all you have to do. You're not gonna be good at it at first, and that's okay. It's gonna take time. You have to do this over and over and over and over again. But if you work on it this way versus the dumb things like, oh, Pretend that like, you know, someone's in their underwear when you're talking to the camera. Oh, pretend like, you know, there's people making funny faces at you, blah, blah, or pretend like there's people there, but you can't really see their faces. And then you do this. Like that stuff doesn't work because that's just a band-aid over the issue. The issue is that you're way too much in your head, and you're in your head because you're not specific. Do these things, do it over and over and over, practice it, and eventually you'll get better at it. I promise you. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Reach out to me if I can give you any more advice on this. Leave some comments for me below. I'd love to get your feedback on my videos. And again, thanks for watching and see you on the next one.